Happy Sunday, fellas. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are we doing today? How are we feeling? Good morning to everybody in chat. I'm quickly here doing a few encounters for Raikou. I'm going to be heading over to do my gym run to start things off. Pretty casual, pretty fun day Sunday, as people are saying in chat. Definitely true and real information. Starting the day off with a gym run. Gonna be Raikou hunting, shiny hunting, the whole shebang. Let's head over to Unova. Just 27, 30 encounters. Nothing crazy towards Raikou. Not all of that was towards Raikou. I think I want to say I've only done like around 1,000, maybe 1,200 encounters for Raikou. Nothing crazy by any means. Maybe max 1,400, but something like 1,000 to 1,400. I'm gonna grab my gym rerun team right here and get cracking. We've got our richest charm, 75% to pop. They're getting up there in price, but we'll crack them. Dude, think about it like this. Like, no wonder I haven't been able to grind as hard like the past week or the past week, 7 days, 5 days or so. Johto's been out for 30 days. Johto's been out for 30 days now. As of today, as of recording this, Johto's been out for 30 days. How nuts is that? A month of Johto. No wonder we're slowing down a little bit. Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea how I'm gonna make enough Pokeyen. Like, the amount of Pokeyen that I want for the 11th anniversary event, I'm so far from. I am so far from. I'm really hoping for like 20 to 30 mil, but I mean, I'm not even close. I have to, and I just don't have the time to do everything. I also want to like hunt for Raikou before that. I want to, get a shiny Miltank. Like, there's so many factors. It's not like if I was just trying to get Pokeyen, obviously I could do that, but making Pokeyen on top of content creation and all the other goals I have, it's just I'll try to do the best I can. I'll try to do the best I can, and we shall see. I'll have to do a video and I'll have to do listing stuff. I have to do listing. I have a lot of Pokeyen just sitting in my boxes that I don't utilize enough in Pokemon. I have to list them, sell them off, and give them time to actually sell off. Where can we find custom strings? So right now, custom strings are in a very limbo period. I will say, like, if you watch my recent video that went up today, I don't know, like, you'll have to ask around. I don't know if my custom strings are working. Custom strings are in a very huge limbo period. Once again, watch my video that went out this morning if you're not familiar. But essentially, it seems like the devs do want to work towards standardizing them or removing them or getting something evened out, more fair about them, because it is silly that it's like players have such a massive advantage, like a 40-60% time boost advantage for having this weird third-party custom notepad document thing. It's very strange. I think it makes a lot of sense to standardize them. So the strings are in limbo right now is the TLDR. If you ask me where to get strings, I honestly couldn't tell you. It's a weird position right now. Yeah, your first 1 mil Pokeyen is definitely hard. And I think, dude, more than like, I think this is the case with most MMOs. With most MMOs, I think this is the case. Money compounds in like snowballs really hard, right? Like, once you get your first 1 mil, your second mil is that much easier. Then your third mil and your fourth mil and your fifth. Like, the hardest part is about starting, and even then, like, it's way more accessible nowadays than it ever has been because pure Pokeyen methods like gym runs are better than ever. There are so many incredible things, and there are so many, there's just so many great money-making methods, but it's definitely the hardest at the start. The start is the hardest, and then you have to kind of go from there, and you'll notice how fast you snowball once you get going. I just made my first mil in 4 days from gym runs. Yeah, how nuts is that? Like, if you could probably, I think I did a video showing off how to build a budget gym run team. I made a gym run team, I think in around 100K, and then if you buy the charcoals, I think it's like it's like you can easily build a gym run team for like 100 to 150K, probably even cheaper now. I kind of want to actually revisit that video, so I think you can actually do it for cheaper now, which is nuts. And then you can make that Pokeyen back. If you have all 4 regions done, you make 1 mil every 4 days, easily, like probably a little more than like 1.2 mil, in pure yen, pure cash. The best thing about Jimmy runs, you don't have to wait for stuff to sell. You don't have to rely on the market. It's pure yen coming in. Wait, yeah, this actually is worth. I will let you flex the shit out of this, Mist. For those who don't know, Mist finally got his shiny Dratini. This man had 5 Magikarp fails before getting this. 5 at the Dragon's Den location. And that, like, he also went dry on multiple hunts. Like, he got this after being 5 carps, 5 phases. He got this at 70K, 73K encounters. He also went like 60K dry on a hunt for another carp. Dude, it was Mist hunted so hard since Johto's release for that Dratini, and 30 days in, he finally got it. The most deserved 6 phases or 5 phases plus the shiny. Like, that's insane for a 50-50 coin flip. Also, so many of them being insane encounters. What was I would love to see the total amount of encounters missed. That would be awesome. Yeah, I believe Wayward Cave is the best place to shunt Givel, like by far. It's the only really place. I think it's a ×3 horde, if I'm not mistaken, with Leppas. It might be ×5. I always forget. It's either ×5 or ×3 horde, and it does need Leppas for sure. This is actually a really common question I get. I get a lot of questions about like, how should I farm BP? What's the best BP farming guide? Yada yada. And the real meme is, you shouldn't really be trying to farm BP for Pokeyen or for any items besides the one thing you actually do want to farm BP for is secret base items, because there are certain secret base items you only can buy BP with, and certain moves. That's actually, there are special moves which require you to use BP. I think like Pikachu Fly or Pikachu Surf. Some of the HM weird Pikachu moves might need BP. Certain moves need BP, and then certain specific things, need BP. But other than that, you shouldn't be buying like choice bands and choice scarves with, well, you can do that if you have extra BP lying around for Pokeyen, but don't go farm BP with the intention of making money, because usually there's just doing better money making methods, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know where this conspiracy theory commonly comes from. Would you say that people that don't GTL bot have a chance of sniping a 3x31 for below 10k? Yeah, absolutely. I don't know where this, like, there are no GTL bots, or if there are, they exist, right? People will snipe or whatever, but like, those get banned. Like, it's not like people aren't sitting on the GTL with like GTL bots sniping, for a lot of reasons. First of all, why would you GTL bot when you could just go bot like an actual location, like Payday farming Dratini or some other specific location to make more Pokeyen? Like, you're not gonna like, it's so much more complicated and so much more. It's just so strange. No one's GTL botting consistently and like not getting banned or having an issue. If you lose a snipe, it's just because someone sniped faster than you. I feel like it's just copium, because people will like lose a snipe and be like, oh, that was so fast, must have been a bot. And it's like, no, some people are just fast, man. Like, sometimes it just happens. Like, I think it's just turbo copium. It's like the way to explain something that might be a little unexplainable, or not even though. It's the most logical answer is someone was just faster than you. What I usually tell PokeMMO players is if they're feeling overwhelmed by the game, if they're new, just play PokeMMO like you would any normal Pokemon game. Like, play it very simple, like whatever, fire red, leaf green, black and white. Play it like you would a normal game. And then as things pop up, if you see someone in global chat say like, oh, Alpha Garchomp spawned at blah blah blah, and you're like, whoa, what's that? And you Google it. You kind of just like play the game normally. And as terms pop up, I should have mementoed there, I fucked up. As terms pop up, just Google them, and you sort of just kind of slowly learn the ropes of the game very naturally, as opposed to feeling rushed and like pressured to learn everything as soon as possible. I actually fucked up this fight. I'm probably gonna log now, because I don't want to waste the time. I made this mistake yesterday as well. I just get distracted. I make this mistake a fair bit on stream. If I get distracted and don't pay attention, I'm supposed to lead Blastoises against this fight, for anyone who's confused by that. Supposed to lead Blastoises against Blaine, but oopsie whoopsie. A chat message that I remember from a chatter of mine, Sond, high-level UIM RuneScape player. And if you know, he was like rank 3 Ultimate Iron Man in the world at one point. I think he like de-ironed for fun. I don't know. But if you know high-level RuneScape players, they're either geniuses or like batshit. Or both. But they're either like, if you're a high-level RuneScape player, there's no in between. They're either like an incredible, phenomenal person or kind of batshit, and it's kind of, coin flip. It takes a lot of insanity to like play the game that much and get that hard and pop off and yada yada. As someone who was like a quote-unquote high-level RuneScape player, but never like high-ranked in that regard, to that extent, right? Anyways, Sond once told me in Twitch chat he likes and appreciates nightmares because for him, he views them as a break of acclimation, which is, it's always stuck with me. It's really, really, really interesting to think that nightmares, you wake up, it's a break of acclimation, and they make you appreciate your day more because you started your day with a like tough or like harsh experience. I think that is wildly interesting to me, and it always stuck with me. Can we expect commentary on PokeMMO PvP tourney finals from you, Pat? Dude, I would love, actually, it's funny you brought that up, man. I was watching, there's a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament happening right now, isn't there? I would absolutely adore to do some like PvP commentating. I think that for whatever reason, luckily, I think I actually have like a pretty good, I think I'm in a pretty good position to do commentary. I think commentary is something I've always been very interested in. I think I'm pretty decent at it. I think I could be, I have to practice a lot. I've never really practiced much, but I feel like I talk fast enough. I feel like I have enough of the knowledge. I feel like I have enough of the excitement and the energy and the emotions. I feel like I would love to do some commentary. That would be so fucking fun. I will say, With Yu is by far the least tier I know the least about, so that would be a little tougher. But man, I would love to do commentary over PvP matches. That would be so fun for me and a great thing to explore. I've wanted to do that with like a ton of different games, like Overwatch or other games that I've enjoyed. I love the idea of doing commentary. That's always been something I've been really interested in for a long time, honestly. I almost forgot I wanted to show this off, but I've been in the middle of my gym run, so it's been kind of hard. But this is Mist's log for their shiny Dratini. So they had a Magikarp somewhere else, I believe. They said, yeah, the first Magikarp they got was at Sutopolis. So they did a Sutopolis City Carp, which makes a lot of sense. And they got their second Carp while trying to get Dratini at 15k encounters. That's pretty lucky, you know, not too bad. Third went 52k. That's kind of brutal. They went 15k, pretty lucky. 2k. They had a Dodrio phase weaved in there, which is hilarious to me as well. But 15k, 52k, 15k, 2k encounters for a fourth Carp, 33k for a fifth Carp, and then finally 73k joy emoji, the Bodhi number for the Dratini. So many phases, so many shinies. I would love to add these up and see what the average like shiny rate was, because you might actually be, I would say you seem to be around rate at a glance, but I have to run the math, either around or maybe even slightly under, but I could be wrong. That 2k just, you know, leans it so hard, but I mean, so does the 73. So I don't know. Let me we'll do some math here in a quick sec. All right, so for a total of 6 shinies, you went 192,000 encounters. You can see on the calculator down there, 192,000 for 6 shinies. Now, what if we take this number, divide this by 6? That leaves you with 32,000, so slightly over. And I think I could be wrong. I believe you popped Dono and Shiny Charm for a fair bit of these, so you were over rate. 32k. Unlucky over these 6 hunts. Now, it's only 6 hunts. Hopefully, you know, maybe that RNG evens out over the next couple, or you just stay unlucky for the rest of your life. Who knows? But nonetheless, I'm glad you finally got your dragon, Mist. I know that was quite the hunt that I've been keeping updates and tabs on. Quick, yeah, little PSA. If you ever find a bug, even like a, you know, mostly harmless bug, make sure to report it to the devs if it's something that would like give you some sort of slight advantage. I know, for example, I think it was, I don't want to dox names actually. Someone recently found a bug during one of the Johto updates where the Unova rich trainers, or some of the trainers in Unova, were giving out like an extra 10k Pokeyen, or like you would get like 20k Pokeyen just from defeating a rich trainer or some sort of trainer in Unova, which was way higher. It was way too high. It's not what they intended. It was not an intended thing. So people were getting more money just like, you know, killing the trainers versus the gym leaders, and that's an important thing to like not abuse. Tell the devs, hey, this bug is happening. I'm no longer going to fight the trainers. Just, you know, don't bug abuse. You can get banned. It's just not worth, you know, bug abusing to take that risk by any means. One of the most insane things about Pokemon Go and community days and the shiny rate and everything like that is like you can transfer Pokemon Go shinies, from my understanding, to the main games. How is that okay? How is that allowed? How is that balanced or fair by any means? The fact that there was a community weekend like a year ago or whatever, or 2 years ago, when I was obsessed with the game, and I caught 56 shiny Eevees in a weekend. I worked very hard for those 56 Eevees. I played like 16 hours a day and like walked around, ran around, drove around, yada yada. But like 56 shiny Eevees in 2 days, I don't care how hard you worked. That's insane. How is that okay? How do we bring 56 shiny Eevees into the original, into Pokemon games with Pokemon Home and shit? How is that okay? How is that balanced by any means? It really just feels to me like Game Freaking Nintendo has just shattered the shiny balancing system in the traditional games and current mainline Pokemon. And it really makes me sad, because I feel like shinies could be such a cool thing and such a cool balanced system and experience and valuable currency, and I feel like they're just shattered in the new game, which is a huge reason why I like PokeMMO so much. Dude, that's such a funny speech thing that I have to be aware of. I did just say complete all 4 regions in game. It's 5 now. Thank you, chat, for correcting me. That's something that I'm gonna have to learn. To new players, complete all 5 regions in game, get a Jimmy Run team, and then bam, you'll climb very fast. That's a hilarious little thing to catch. This is gonna sound really cringe, but I think I actually might need to start hopping on more trends as a YouTuber. I hate that sentence and I hate the idea of that, just lightly. And what I mean by that, my reasoning for it is, I look back and I see how many people found out about PokeMMO because I made a Pixelmon video, or I made a Pokémon video, or a Pokemon MMO 3D video, or a Pro video, or like videos covering other things, other Pokemon related content, or my PokeMMO Nuzlocke. A lot of people, they would look for Pokemon Nuzlocke content and get recommended PokeMMO Nuzlocke, and they'd be like, oh, what's that? What's that game? And they find the game through like other various Pokemon content. So I kind of wish, like, I feel like it's actually good for me and beneficial to hop on a few more trends just to like get the eyes on it, right? Like something I talked about was like Pokemon Infinite Fusion. Pokemon Infinite Fusion seems really, really, really cool, but I didn't do it or make any content on it because I didn't really feel like I had anything new to offer to it. I feel like I didn't have anything super interesting to offer to Pokemon Infinite Fusions. People made so much content on that game. They really covered everything, so I didn't want to just like make a redundant video that wasn't interesting and didn't like cover more stuff. But I feel like if I maybe hopped in that trend a little more, I could have gotten more eyes on PokeMMO, and that is everything, right? I really think that I probably should hop on like a few more trends. As much as I hate it, I'm not going to stick to them. It's mostly just to play one video and move on, which sucks. I feel like a lot of YouTubers do that full time, and I hate the idea of that. I am never going to be a full-time trend writer. The idea of that makes me really sad. I feel like constantly looking for the next new big thing is not a happy experience for me personally. I like grinding one game and sticking to it and enjoying and, you know, grinding and seeing a lot of long-term progression. Long-term progression is wildly important to me. I almost had 100k BP, by the way. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I think I might hop on trends a little bit more here in the future to sort of get that exposure. Get those crossed algorithms and sort of crossing streams of player bases and players and communities. And I think that's wildly important for exposure. I think exposure is just one of the most important things from content. Like, I always say, like, I'd be thrilled if some giant content creator like reacted to my videos on stream or whatever, because the exposure from it would be so unbelievably huge, and getting other people in other communities to see eyes on my videos, YouTube recommends them more. You know, it just, exposure is everything. And I think getting more people's eyes on PokeMMO when it's such a good game, people always say it's the best Pokemon game you've never heard of. It's really sad how many people still haven't heard of this game. It's so good. Exposure is everything. Trends, yada yada. That's a TLDR recap. Yup. Speaking of Raikou and PokeMMO legendaries, let's go hunt it, boys. Let's go. Any thoughts on ability patch water as an investment? What's the reasoning behind it? Because we already have ability patch. What's the reasoning that it might go up? It does seem like people are buying them out, or they're just, the price is a stranger now. What are people speculating on ability patch waters for? Hidden ability total comes and might be desired. It's already out though, man. Like, what like sheer force for alligator? Yeah, but that's already out. We already have that. That's not like a new thing being introduced into the game. The fact that water patch is in the game, you know, necessarily means we're gonna see Johto alpha starters, right? But those are already gonna have hidden ability access, and we already have every like sheer force for alligators are in the game, guys. That's not like a crazy thing, you know. It's in UU sheer force. We've had it forever. As soon as ability patches came out, they introduced that, right? So we've had this forever. I don't see water patches or any patches going up anytime soon, because they'd have to. Yeah, no, there's no way. There's no way, because all of these starter hidden abilities are in the game by default from ability patches. That's the whole point. Move down to NU. Oh, if for alligator moves down to NU, I mean, I would have to get a sheer force one. That would, I mean, yeah, maybe some NU players will want one, but I don't think it's going to raise the price up too much. I don't think any ability patch is ever going to be a good investment. I think they'll just go down and down and down in price over time consistently. Unless they released fucking Speed Boost Blaziken. That's the only one that isn't in the game. If they release Speed Boost Blaziken, fire ability patches will go to the moon. But that's it. And that will like never happen. I actually did a video this morning going over a comment. It'll come out in a couple days or in a bit, but I did a video fully running down. I ran some calculations on how broken Speed Boost Blaziken would be, so keep an eye out for that video. Beginner here, why are you and many other people hunting at this spot? Precisely. This spot just has some pretty cool shinies. You don't have to hunt here by any means at all. You can really hunt for Raikou wherever in game. I just like this location, just a cool location. And it has Miltank and Chansey and Farfetch, which are some pretty cool, you know, shiny single encounters. We still don't know the exact rate for Raikou and Suicune and all the legendary beasts, but the devs did confirm it was somewhere between 1 out of 1,000 and 1 out of 8,000. Specifically, they said 1 out of 1,001 and 1 out of 7,999. So we know it's technically not that 1,000 or 8,000 mark. I would guess it's 1 out of 5K or 1 out of 4K, something like that. But we don't know the number for sure yet. That's the best sentence I've ever heard. Zoomers have it all, man. For a 4-hour car ride, this guy has his Switch and his DS. What a good era. That's awesome. I'm excited to follow the legendary beast prices and see if it's possible to make money in the rotations. Dude, that'll be some short-term speculation. Interesting. I respect that, German. That's a cool thing to keep an eye on. People were telling me, I think it was Miss was DMing me yesterday. It's funny, like, the legendary rates end up being a really good, or the legendaries actually end up being a really good example of like what shiny costs would be if they followed the same mainline shiny rates. Like, it's probable that Raikou and Suicune, and they probably have the rate of around 1 out of 4,000, which is around the rate of, you know, shinies or whatever, right, in the traditional Pokemon games currently, up to current day, I believe. They're already around 1 mil. Raikou has been in the game for 10 days. 10 days at this rate, and it's already at 1 mil. Shinies, after an 11-year period, would cost like 50K. Like, they'd be fucking worthless if they were 1 out of 4K. There is a huge reason and a huge benefit to them being 1 out of 30K ultra turbo rare. It is so good for the game and the economy, and the feeling of getting one is just, it's awesome. I think it's a really good parallel and example. I love GW, and he one time in a comment kind of backed me up when because I understand I can sound like a dick sometimes. I think when people ask me a question about the game and I say, oh, just Google it, I have a video on it, I know how it sounds dickish. I get it. But GW explained it really, really well one time, where he was like, imagine if you spent, you know, 10 hours of your day every single day full time to making videos and making guides on something, and you know, you have 1,800 plus videos on your channel answering questions, and then instead of people just using all of that, all those resources that you made and you did, they just asked you the same questions that you've answered 1,000 times in your live stream every day. And I really, really appreciated that. Like, I don't know, having someone else empathize with me and understand why it is, and like almost explain to me why it's frustrating. And I was like, yeah, you know what? That's kind of it. Like, I like being a resource for the game. It's not that we don't even have to make the argument of like, oh, remember Patrouski's human. Like, no, it's okay. Like, I like being a resource. I like helping people, but you're often going to get a better answer in a video. You're going to get a better answer, a more in-depth answer, a more succinct answer. If a video is scripted to answer a question versus me rambling or scrambling for the words on a live stream format, it's just often going to be better, right? I really, really appreciated someone like JW being able to empathize and be like, man, like, how disappointing would it be for like your main goal to be like provide all these resources, then people to just not use them, right? You know, imagine it's how Dewey Decimal, it's how he feels when people go to the library and just ask the librarian. To be fair, that system's wildly complicated, but ask the librarian, hey, where's this book, instead of using the Dewey Decimal System and the resources there. You know, they don't mind to help, but it's a system there. It's nice to be able to use that and be a self, you know, what's the word? Like, kind of go-getter, and, you know, go get those questions. Those answers are there. They're at your disposal. Use your resources, you know, is wildly important. I like to give people the tools to do whatever they need, but I don't want to, like, babysit people to much of an extent. But I love talking about it. I love the game, but I have to draw a little bit of a line somewhere, you know. Unironically, Ash, stream, that's a huge reason why stream ends up being a lot of like non-PokeMMO talk, like fast food discussions, food takes, kiwis, language, culture stuff, like fun memes, like media, movies, TV shows, animes, like books, like a lot of stuff on stream is just fun little discussion, side stuff, because I make so many videos and guides covering PokeMMO stuff that it's nice to shake things up on stream and say I eat kiwis like apples, and mash together proteins like fish, pork, and rice into a bowl with not raw egg, hard-boiled eggs, and just eat like a fucking heathen. It's fun to talk about stuff like that versus just like, oh yeah, here's the 5th time about how to hunt for rare egg shinies in PokeMMO, you know? Yeah, imagine asking the librarian what happens in the book versus just reading the book. Yeah, like the resource is there. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. That's a really good comparison. What's Spoder's history? Good question. The shiny Spoder. This is a Squirtle OT, as you might be able to tell. This is a catch event one shiny. My only catch event that I ever won, and I've entered a lot of catch events, but I'm lucky that I won one. But yeah, I won this I have a video on it, or a clip, a short as well. I won this shiny Spinarak by catching a 175 total score Spinarak with like a minute or two left in the event. It was insane how little time was left, and I caught it, and I was just like shit. I was like, holy shit. I was unbelievably shocked. It's a pretty insane reaction. I was so hyped for that because it felt like one of the most unique and interesting ways to win a shiny in so long. It was so cool. It was nuts. Man, that was one of the most exciting feelings I've had for a shiny, honestly, in a while. That winning a shiny that way was so cool. Yeah, Azumarill is used in PvP, and Azumarill is quite good at certain times in PvP. There's two main sets with Azumarill. There's Huge Power, or they both use Huge Power. Huge Power Choice Band, which you run like Choice Band, Waterfall, you know, kind of like Aqua Jet as well. I think it gets CC or Superpower. It's really cool. And then which just does massive damage. You can also do the set that I enjoy, way riskier set, but way more fun set, is Citrus Berry, Huge Power, Belly Drum. Belly Drum Azumarill is just, Belly Drum plus Huge Power is just insane. If you don't know, Huge Power raises your attack by like double or some stupid thing. Raises the Pokemon's attack stat. It like doubles it, which is why Azumarill only has a 50 base attack, wildly low, right? But it doubles it to 100 essentially. Think of it as essentially being 100. If you have Belly Drum plus its attack, you just do so much damage. It's insane. I love that stuff. Assault Deer Azumarill. That's a really cool. I've never heard of that. That's a really cool set. No, I love Assault Deer. Is so interesting. Assault Deer is such a cool item. I'm so glad it's been added to PokeMMO. I would love to do a PvP arc at some point. Maybe once event season is totally over, like post February. Really far from that, but like I would love to do a PvP arc where I really try to improve and like test all the quote unquote new stuff that I haven't experimented with as much, such as Assault Deer, and just a really cool item. What steps are the devs taking to combat power creep in PokeMMO? I think that, I mean, they just go so slow with things. So slow to the extent that players constantly complain about certain traditional Pokemon things not being in the game, or certain things. They're so good about custom balancing, and like I think the PokeMMO devs care about balancing above all else. If you want a full, like, no bullshit, it's funny, PokeMMO's old logo, it's kind of cringe, but it is kind of true. Their old slogan used to be no bullshit, just games, which comes off really like funny and arrogant and cringe, but it's, I don't know, it's kind of a good meme. But man, I super think that like PokeMMO is like the slowest, most methodical devs I've ever seen when it comes to like adding stuff and slowly and like quote unquote power creeping and making sure everything's like super balanced, like comes together, and they check things. Like they introduce a few hidden abilities here and there to like slowly roll them out and see how they fit in the metagame, and they'll ban them instantly, and like dude, they are really, the PokeMMO devs are so safe about balance. A lot of people would argue too safe to where it's so slow, but I really like it. I think that if you want like devs who care about balance, I have never seen a game dev care more about balance than in PokeMMO. Most game devs end up sacrificing, and it's not really their fault. Like we'll get into that in a sec, but like most game devs end up sacrificing game balance and long-term game integrity and long-term game enjoyment for short-term player happiness and short-term community enjoyment. A really good example of this is just things like League of Legends focusing on skin releases, skins, and new champs, pumping out new champs and new skins without taking a break and pausing to rebalance things like the Z-axis and rebalancing things like hitboxes and visuals and mechanics. And there's so many broken things in that game that have never been stopped and paused and fixed because it's just not worth it to League. League makes way more money if they just keep pumping out champions and skins, and it's a balanced enough. It's like balanced enough to where like pro play works and high level play. Like people complain, whatever. Like who cares? People are, League players are so addicted they'll just keep playing. Like it's balanced enough. It's like an abusive relationship. Like Riot Games. I really hate Riot Games. They really keep people like brought in just enough, and they balance just enough to keep them around, but they never take a moment to sit and pause, and like they are not aiming for balance. They're not aiming for a balanced experience, and that really saddens me. But I think PokeMMO is like incredible about like they truly want an integral balanced experience, and they could go a lot more sellout. They could go a lot more fast pumping if they wanted to. If they just pumped out content, it brings more players in, but it kills the game over time for sure. Yeah, Raikou is like a shockingly easy battle, or like I guess like the legendary beast in general. If you just have like one level 100 catching Pokemon, he's on level 50. It's like shockingly easy to just like spore him, like ball swipe him down. Like they're pretty easy to knock down. Now they have a pretty high catch rate, so you do need to like have your timer balls and get to turn 10 or whatever and like go for that. But it's a pretty easy battle to control, I'd say. Yeah, unironically, I'd say the legendary beasts are much easier to catch than most alphas. That's actually 100% true. Patrouski, how would you feel if you got a third shiny rat? Bad. When do you think the 11th anniversary event will start? Probably mid-September, maybe mid to late September, and then worst case scenario, early October would be my guess. I think Raikou will end up being an interesting niche in OU. It might get moved on to UU. I think Suicune's probably going to be the strongest of the dogs. It would be really cool if one of the dogs ended up in NU. It'd be really... Dude, if Entei ended up in NU, we'd actually have an alternative good fire type aside from Blaziken and Houndoom, and that's it. That would be so interesting. But yeah, Raikou is like... There's also not that many good electric types in OU. So like there's Rotom Wash and Magnezone, and that's like pretty much it. Jolteon's like the next, and Jolteon's dog shit, and it like constantly gets moved to UU. I think Raikou might serve a niche offensive electric type in OU, but we'll see. It might be, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not an expert. Suicune's definitely probably the best dog, probably, but we'll see. Guys, I have to say something really, really embarrassing. Okay, I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but it cringes me out to even think about. The name Fifth Ace Twitch Priming reminded me of this. I watched a little bit of the One Piece live action, and I hate to say this, but I think it's actually good. I think it might actually be not terrible. It might actually not be atrocious. I think the One Piece live action, I might actually enjoy more than the anime, which is blowing my mind. It's like the most disgusting sentence I've ever heard. But I actually like the One Piece live action is actually hype and exciting and like surprisingly well done. I'm actually blown away. Every anime live action that I've ever seen seems like embarrassingly cringe. But I'm actually shocked. It actually seems interesting and like decent. I'm blown away. I found the key to encountering Raikou, fellas. We shit on the anime Demon Slayer and talk about how overrated it is, and thus we get a Raikou encounter. Oh, it's so genius. It's so genius. The believers. Wait, do we have a Gamba? Do people bet on it? Oh, yes. Oh, that's so nice. Nice. Hell yeah, there's the Raikou. Pod. I want to preface, okay, before I catch this Raikou, I did rate Demon Slayer Season 1 an 8 out of 10. It's actually not like it's actually like a very good anime. I shit on it a lot, but it's overrated, but it's actually good before I get all the hate comments. I actually do like Demon Slayer Season 1, 8 out of 10 rating, but probably one of the most overrated animes of our generation, but still 8 out of 10. Anyways, I rant about that on stream all the time. Here is our Raikou encounter. That's the important thing. That's what we're here for. Demon Slayer thumbnail. Okay, that's kind of a good meme. It's like that important to the content, I include it. Okay, here we go. Ooh, should be a pretty easy catch. I don't think it'll be anything super interesting. This thing has no way to like do recoil damage, right? I should count turns for timer ball. It's going to be important. That was turn 1, 2. This is turn 3, I believe. Turn 3, 4? It's 3 or 4. No shiny Raikou. Ah, never lucky. Unbelievably unlucky streamer. So true. So you can catch 1 legendary beast per month. Shadow. 1 legendary beast per month. I'm gonna go ahead and sub to stall turn. No recoil moves. Nice. 1 legendary beast per month. So last month everybody could catch 1 Suicune. This month everybody could catch 1 Raikou. Next month everybody can catch 1 Entei, and then the cycle starts over. And even though I've already caught 1 Suicune, I can catch Suicune again once that next month rotation comes through. So everybody can catch 1 legendary beast per month. All right. Go ahead and spore it. You able to get a second Suicune in November? Yes, I will be able to get a second, which is really interesting. It's really interesting that it's not 1 per character, 1 per account. It is 1 per month per character, per account, which is, yeah, it's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty crazy. That's my understanding. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's my understanding. People don't, you can have negative feelings towards an anime, but still love it at the same time. Absolutely. And that's the case with like anything, for sure. I am a very critiquing person, but I try to be fair about my critiques. I try not to just levy them unrightfully so, because that, they just hurt people for no reason. But anyways, rainbow quills are granted each month. Yes, I believe so. They should be per catch. I'm not on match turns yet, so it makes sense I don't catch there. Use Masterball 5 head, please. Little PSA as always. Never ever waste a Master Ball on this. People were saying like, oh, I have 5 Master Balls. Why would I, you know, why don't I just waste one on Suicune, whatever? But look, now there's going to be a, this is why. This is the exact reason why. We have a Legendary Beast every month. Oh, so you use your Master Balls per Legendary Beast for 5 months. Okay, now you're out. What do you do now? What if you get a shiny? Like what? It's just, it's so silly to waste Master Balls. Just don't do it. There's so many copium arguments. Yeah, use the Cherish Ball. I should just catch with Timer Ball, and then I can put it in a Cherish after. You can always switch Pokeball after. Almost caught it. Okay. But yeah, man. Honestly, yeah, Ultra Ball is a good luck for Raikou. Kind of based. Kind of based. That was a pretty easy. I got really lucky. I've been very lucky on both my... We don't really know the rates yet for sure, but it seems like... There we go. There's the catch. It seems like I've been lucky on both my Legendary Beast encounters. Man, that is so nice to get done. Now I can go back to Shunting Miltank. There's the 20 quills you just saw. 3 times 31. It's fine. Nothing crazy with the stats or anything, but whew, we got it done. That is so nice to get done. That is so nice. That's a huge like thing to do off the shoulders. That's just awesome. Nice. But yeah, we're gonna get Legendary Beast everyone. Even if you just caught like 1 Shaman, 1 Suicune, 1 Raikou, 1 Entei in a Master Ball each, right there, that's 4 of your 5 Master Balls. And what if they add more? Like catching things in Master Balls just because you can, just as like it's a very low chance of you ever needing them for like a shiny that can kill themselves. It's just, it's very illogical. But if you, it's still just something that's illogical doesn't make it bad. If it makes you happy, that's all that matters. Go for it. But I really don't recommend using Master Balls to catch legendaries, using Master Balls to catch anything that can be safely caught via other means. But, you know, you do you. Have fun. Yada, yada. There's the Raikou Catch Pog. All right, so we got Raikou. Let's go ahead and grab my Careful Kadabra is what I want. We can go back to... We can just Shiny Hunt, dude. I'm so excited. I haven't been able to Shiny Hunt, it feels like, in forever, but it hasn't been that bad. Where is my Careful Kadabra? Yes, here it is, randomly over in utility. I guess it makes sense, utility. That makes a lot of sense. That Pokemon was actually sorted. Who would have thought? But let's go over to Miltank. It just became daytime in game, so it's actually a perfect time to try to shunt it. Look at Jimmy John's in. Is he just flexing your Haxorus? What's up, man? Nice Haxorus. Is it because I said I don't like Subway and I do like Jimmy John's? Is that why you're? Is this a payment for that sponsorship? I'm not gonna take it. I never take OT shinies, but it's a nice shiny, man. Congratulations. Dude, I'm muscle memory just running back and forth. I can just times 5 horde for Hypno now. I totally forgot. I don't have to run back and forth anymore. I can just Sweet Scent. Hypno is actually a good alpha in Kanto. It's humanoid age group, which is actually a pretty good one. That might be worth to go catch. But I want to shiny hunt Miltank. Dude, I've been really lucky with the legends. I think I've gotten both. I think I got Raikou at around 1,600 encounters as well. I think I got both Suicune and Raikou at around 1,600 encounters. I don't know we don't know the rate yet, but it feels lucky from what I'm seeing from other people. Yeah, I haven't seen Suicune or Raikou used in any sort of PVM or gym rerun team yet. I'm sure they might be good in like Battle Tower or something. I think that'd be pretty interesting to see, but no real strats surrounding them yet, or maybe even E4 reruns. We'll have to see how that develops. Encountering Raikou / Suicune is just something that's totally like out of your control for the most part. It's a lot of RNG. It's just grinding and hoping for average rates and everything like that. So like, honestly, man, best piece of advice, like just find a location that you like, that the shinies there are really cool. You know, you can use Swarm ability or Illuminate to get slightly more encounters. You can pop Lures if you want to get slightly more encounters, and then put on anime, put on a TV show, put on a movie, put on your favorite, you know, PokeMMO content creator, wink wink, and just watch something and just try to relax and forget about it, right? If you don't want to miss Raikou, you can turn on sound effects. I will say it's pretty hard to miss because even when I was like not paying attention, like watching chat and everything, like he just stands out because you don't, you know, you see so many rats and Miltanks and yet they kind of just blend to the back. You don't really think about those when you see those, but Raikou you literally never see here, so it actually does like really stand out when you do encounter him. But you can turn music sound effects on as well, and his song will play, and it's kind of, it stands out. But yeah, just like watch something. Just RuneScape, or sorry, PokeMMO. Fuck, it's RuneScape as well. But like PokeMMO and RuneScape are both very like background grindable games. Like watch a movie, watch an anime, and just kind of go through the motions, have fun, make progress in certain ways. Not everything in either of these games, but certain activities are, you know. I will say the sad thing is I still haven't had a single shiny in Johto that I've aimed for. Which is a little unfortunate. Only 30 days in, to be fair, but 2 rats, 2 fails. Unfortunate, but could be. I'm looking at the encounter. I only have fucking 3K encounters. I'm so low on encounters right now, so I don't know. I gotta work for it to complain. Check W, true. All right, but speaking of ending soon, it is 4 p.m. and I still have some stuff to do today. But this was a really fun Sunday stream. I really enjoyed it. A lot of progress was made. Had a fat gym rerun. I kind of fucked that up a bit, but that was my fault. Whatever. Got Raikou. I can finally get back to Time Swipe hoarding and get a bunch of encounters for Miltank. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like the video if you did enjoy. Dislike if not. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. I do upload every single day, 365 days a year, and stream usually Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's down below for updates on all my content when I go live, if I'm sick, if I can't go live, yada yada. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the content, helps out tremendously, but it's never required. YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo is wildly appreciated and important. Have a great day. I will see you guys later, and good luck on your Raikou hunts, good luck on your shiny hunts, and good luck on your randoms PvP. Have a good one. Peace, guys.
Hey, thank you so much for watching until the very end of the video. Hopefully it was a positive asset on your day in some way. And thank you to everyone's name who's on this list, who is a massive positive asset to my day every single day. I appreciate you all. Thank you for going above and beyond and allowing me to do what I do.